Peace. I'm back again here for another session on what's going on around here, in your life and where you came from. So today, obviously we came from God, God exists, believe it or don't, it's up to you. There's a lot of truthers out there, I call them truthers light, where these people think they know something, and they will tell you that you have to know. Belief is always wrong. In that context, they will tell you that belief is wrong and you have to know. Knowing is what you have to get to, and believing is all a bunch of BS, and that's where all the disasters on the earth came. So, I'll make a statement. You don't know anything that you haven't believed. You only know because you believe something. So if you come and tell me that I know this, so answer to me, how do you know something? What is the basis of your knowing? Is it because you know it for sure? You have actually seen all the way to its existence, the basic existence of that thing that you're looking at? When you say you know and you say something, you see something and I know that. So how do you know that that thing that you're looking at is what you know it to be? Give it a little thought, You're deluded. Just understand that. So am I, to an extent, obviously. All of us are deluded in this delusion we live in. We call this system of heaven and earth that we are under. And nobody understands really what it is, except the fact that it's pretty much a plane of existence that does not move, and there is a barrier above it which cannot be penetrated by us, not by ourselves. It's not going to be penetrated, not happening. You have to understand the level of deception around you, and these days the deception is to a level that cannot be fathomed by the normal layman who has absolutely no knowledge except what he has achieved by going through the education system that is on the earth, which has been established over the last 100-odd years. If you look at the education system, it's a farce, obviously. There's a contradiction from bottom to top. So, how do I know something? I'll tell you how I know it. I know it because I read it in the book of God. As simple as that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, oh no, it comes from my heart. Everything I know is in my heart. I know all good and evil. I am the one who knows. No, the book of God, which is the Quran today, the absolute book of God is the Quran. Nothing can circumvent that as far as truth is concerned. And it backs the Torah and the Bible and the Psalms and all the other books of God, but most fundamentally the Torah and the Bible. People accuse those who believe the Torah and the Bible, saying that they're corrupted and you cannot believe them. But Quran tells me to believe them. It tells me to go and verify what the Quran is saying and to verify what they've done with those books. It doesn't mean that I push them away. When I say, oh, the Torah says what the Quran is saying, well, the Torah is corrupted, but the Quran isn't. So if it's confirming what the Quran is saying, the Torah is confirming, or the Bible, or all three of them, then I absolutely know that. That's where my knowing comes from. I don't know where your knowing comes from, but I'm letting you know where my knowing comes from. Now, oh, it's your interpretation. Nobody can understand these books. Really? So those guys that came with this book, they didn't understand them, obviously. They just invented this garbage. And by an act of providence, all three of them came with fundamentally the same message. That there is a hereafter, there's a life after this life, and there will be judgment, and there's going to be a hell, punishment, and forgiveness, and garden, and bliss. No, they all just invented this, right? Over thousands of years, starting with Abraham, and before that Noah. And all those between them. It just came out of nowhere, you guys, you have to understand the level of deception that you are in from your souls, from yourselves. You cannot understand that until you uncover your own self. In the last episode, I told you guys about how we are constructed actually. I mean, we have our faculties. I said the basic faculties, which is your sight, your hearing, and your intellect, or your intelligence, if you want to call it in your layman terms. But it's the intellect, which is your mind. Has nothing to do with your soul and your heart. Those two entities are where you need to connect. You need to uncover your soul, and you need to connect to your heart. And then you need to cleanse both of these entities from the garbage that is in them intrinsically. From the beginning of creation, of your creation and mine, we have to cleanse these entities, the soul and the heart. Only then will you be in clarity of what God wants you to do. And of course, there's partly the piousness is in the soul, which can actually decipher good from evil intrinsically. But the rest of it has to be learned. Learned from your surroundings, learned from these books, and then has to be justified as to what is right and wrong and where you need to correct yourself. And then you will come out of the delusion eventually. It's not like people are going to somehow magically just become perfect because they feel like it. No, it doesn't work like that. It's never worked like that. It's never going to work like that. I mean, that's not the way of God. God does not work in that fashion. He chooses some, like Jesus. He was created pure. Yahya, or John the Baptist called in the Bible, was also given judgment and wisdom as a child and was of a pure nature. But all of us are not like that. I mean, the rest of us have to endure through our hardships and our trials and tribulations to get over the edge. And then when we are over the edge, God takes control. And He takes control like you have no understanding, and I do, because I know. I know that. I have it in my heart. I have it in my soul. I know how it works. I ain't lying to you. You think I am, but you can keep thinking. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I know where I'm headed. Do you? Yeah, that's the only question. So let's talk about how this delusion comes into our minds. Yeah. So as opposed to how we think things happen. Actually, most of us actually know how things happen. We just don't want to entertain the thought of it. We read stuff, we look at stuff, we hear stuff, it goes into our mind, and it causes us to think one way or the other. And most of our lives, we are told to disregard our gut feeling, so-called gut feeling. Yeah, they call it the gut feeling. We're still, no, look at reality, look at the science in front of you. These books were written by men. They spent their whole lives trying to explain to you what reality is. So look at these men and what they've been doing, yeah, and listen to us. But what's the common sense? There's a common, no, shut up. Just listen to these books and keep repeating it for the next 16 years until you know nothing else. And that's what you come out of at the end of your 4-year college, which is generally what most of the high ones do. And out of high school, you go and then become an electrician or a plumber or whatever with that garbage in your soul, that you've learned for 12 years. So that's how you get affected by learning, through the eyes, the ears, when the mind turning to that. And you're forced to do it. I mean, most people, when they're in school, including me, I always used to think, what the hell am I doing here? I mean, what are they teaching me? I'm learning nothing. This explains nothing. It gives me no kind of wisdom, to say the least, yeah? No kind of common sense or understanding of what actually is going on. No, you learn it later. I kept hearing that till I graduated from university, and I look back 16 years of my life, and I said, I've learned nothing. It's a waste of time, and then obviously I went out trying to make money and become, rich and famous not so much, but rich. Most people like to get famous, so do I, so did I, not anymore. I don't want to be known, I don't give a damn. It's not my place to be known or not known. My place is to deliver the message. However, the message is being delivered. There's no two things about it. I've delivered the message, and everyone who has an internet connection can see the message that I've delivered. And even if they can't find me, they can find the books. So whoever has access to these books of God will have no excuse that day when the punishment of God comes, and it's coming. I mean, as you can see how the situation is evolving on the earth, it's not far, but this is not the punishment of God. I mean, don't think what's happening on the earth today with this so-called disease is actually the punishment of God. It's not. This is just the first shot across the bow, and I don't think it's even been done by God directly. These are the Satans doing it to further delude you into believing what they're saying and doing. That's what I think. I don't know what the reality is. I can't tell you. I don't know what actually is going on. But anywhere during this process, God can intervene and take over everything, and He'll turn everything upside down, as He's done before. You know, it'll be this is the end? No, it's not the end. There's no end of the earth coming. All these fear mongers about the end of the earth. Yeah, the end of the earth is going to come. You know, there's no doubt in that, except in your mind, and your hearts. It's just like your death is going to come. No matter how much you doubt it and how much you think you can escape death, it's going to come to you. There's no two things about it. So, you know, anything that you know comes from belief. So you believe the system, you studied it 12 years, and then 16, and some 25, and some 28, and some all their lives. That's where your knowing comes from. You believe the system. You trusted it. Did you verify everything that you were being told in the books? Did you go and check it yourself? So you believe. Everybody believes. And from that belief comes knowing. That's the fundamental statement. It's not going to change. And I believed all of that. I rejected it. Then I turned to the books of God. I believe the Quran, absolutely. And I believe the Torah and the Bible and all the other books of God. And that's where my knowing comes from. So that's clear. So, you know, we're all either this way, that way, or in the middle, knowing nothing. Most of the people have absolutely no understanding, and they're in doubt of what is going on. So that's where we stand. That's where it is as far as belief and knowing. There's nothing that says that knowing comes without belief. There's always something to tell you knowing comes with belief, from belief. You only know when you believe something. And my belief, I've said openly, I don't care. I'm not hiding from anyone. People say, oh, show your face. Why do you want to look at my face? Some people ask me, oh, show your face. Why? Why do you need to look at my face? It's an ugly piece of shit, you know, just like yours and everybody else. We're just pieces of junk, and we pretend to look beautiful because we paint ourselves or we do all sorts of shit to make ourselves look good. No. We're all kind of like, these bodies are like disgusting, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, we're in prison, you know, God's prison here. We don't understand that, but we have to understand we're in prison here on the earth. We're serving a sentence. Yeah, we have to pass that sentence at the end. You know, people think this is the end. Yeah, so they're trying to enjoy this life because they don't think anything is coming after this. Whereas this is just a joke. This is just a hoax. A deception, a delusion, and a trial to see who will see through it and who will find the path to God. That's truly knowing what's going on. When you go into your soul and your heart and you figure out what's really going on with yourselves. You know, I can't make you see that. I can only make myself see that when I turn to God and ask His guidance and ask His forgiveness. That's the only way I can do it. There's no other way. So let's look at the forces around us. You know, these are the inputs, like they come in from what we know, eyes, ears, and your intellect tries to figure it out. Now we have senses, you know, we sense, we have feeling as well, obviously. And we also have these thoughts that come from all sorts of places of no understanding to us. So let's look at the forces. So every man and woman, child, every one of us, has two angels of God assigned to us. These angels are basically kings in the unseen. The word angel can be interpreted as king, you know, king of the unseen. Whatever God gives that king power over. And there, you know, you don't know how many there are, neither do I. And there's so many that us on this earth altogether can be vanquished by one angel of God when He decides. So, you know, these guys have power that you cannot understand. That's the main force in the unseen under God. The angels of God that run the affairs of the heavens and the earths. They're unseen. You know, I have to believe they exist. And I know they exist because I've believed enough. You guys have no understanding. You call them fairy tales. You call them female names. You call them their things that are made up by man to make fear. Why are you afraid of things that don't exist? If I tell you the angel exists and he can destroy you, the angel of death is going to come and get your soul. If you believe he doesn't exist, me saying he exists should make no difference to you. Why are you getting mad? You know, you just call me mad. That's what you do anyways. So let it be. These are the main, but I'm telling you what I know. I'm not going to back off on that. You can back off and do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. The angels are in charge of everything. They're all around us. 2 of them surround every man, woman, child walking. 2 angels for every man, woman, and child. And they're helping us, they're protecting us with the command of God. They're not doing it because they feel like it. I mean, they've been given powers and commands that they have to do. They can't go against those. If that happened, the heavens and the earth would fall apart right now. If that was the case, the angels cannot go against the command of God. There is that statement of the angel who was Satan, or Satan who was an angel, but he was a demon. Demons are fire beings, and God can make us angels as well. We're going to be at a level which has no significance to the overall workings of the heavens and the earth. The high angels, Michael and the lot, and then the Holy Spirit, Gabriel, they cannot turn from the command of God. It's impossible. They're absolute. Their command is absolute. Their work is absolute. This is absolutely pure, and absolutely to the T, they execute the command of God. So nothing can go awry. Although we see all this stuff happening on the earth, and we say, why is all this stuff happening? It's because of us and our desires and our actions. We bring the destruction upon ourselves. God doesn't come wronging us. We wrong ourselves. So this is the main force around you, the angels. And then you've got the demons, who are shapeshifters. They've been here before us. They were created before man was created, and they're still around. I mean, I believe most of the demons are actually controlling the earth, the satanic demons. The demons are not all bad. You also have to understand the demons are not all bad. They are just like man in the event of faith and rejection. It's the same thing. We have faith or we reject the existence of God, obviously. You can have faith in the satanic path and reject God's path, or you can have faith in God's path and reject the satanic path. So it's like, obviously the satanic people believe as well, the occult societies around the earth, and have been since the beginning of time. And these guys are obviously behind the scenes. They don't want to come in front. But those that come in front, you will never know, because they shapeshift. They present themselves as part of your community, and you will never figure out. So that force is there. You have to understand, and of them there are many who are plotting against us, have been plotting from the beginning of time, starting with the head Satan, his name is Iblis in Arabic. You call him the snake, the devil, shaitan in languages that are all over the earth, but the same guy. You have to understand, we use names, several names for the same thing. How many names does God have? I mean, unlimited names God has that people use to describe God. And everybody fights about what his actual name is when, it doesn't matter. He is the creator of the heavens and the earths. He is the one who has power over everything, including the angels and the spirit and all of us and all the demons and all the Satans and everybody. So now, that's the satanic, demonic satanic cult that is controlling us. But there are demons who are actually believers as well. And they help the other believers from mankind with the will of God. Of course, they don't do it by themselves. Of course, some of them actually have the ability to decide just like us. We believe, we help each other. If we believe the same thing, we help each other. What do people who believe the same thing do? Help each other. The secret societies, they're banding together to help each other against the rest. Obviously, it's the same mentality you have to understand. So this is the second power that is around us. And then we men, we're like pieces of shit, literally. We are the least of these entities that I've spoken about. And then there are the animals and the birds and the fish and all the other things. And then we have the heavens and the earths, the 7 heavens above us and the earths under those 7 heavens. We are under the lowest heaven. There are 6 above that heaven. This is clear. There's no two things about it. And now, your interpretation of that may be different than mine. And I can't confirm that. I can't even get to this first heaven, neither can you. So how am I going to get to the other 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 when I don't know what they are? But I'm telling you what exists. They are stronger creation than the creation of mankind. We think the earth somehow is less of a creation than mankind. I mean, in what judgment do you guys come up with that analysis that the earth somehow is a lesser creation than mankind when we're not even a little dot on the whole of this earth, when we know it? Yeah, I mean, I'm giving a parable. Yeah, maybe we'll be about 5 dots out of 100. Yeah, look at the earth and look at mankind. Do you think we somehow sustain the earth? Or do you think it's the earth that sustains us in that context? Yeah, everything sustains everything else with the will of God, obviously, with the command of God. And that is the power that is around us. So now, how do we channel this? That's you have to read the book. You have to read the Quran. You have to go deep into it and understand what's being told to you of the unseen. The power of the unseen cannot be matched by the power of the seen, whatever seen it is. Let it be demons, let it be men, let it be the birds, or the trees, or the water, or anything else that you see. It cannot be matched by that. The unseen power overcomes the seen power all the time. There's no two things about it. That's the absolute understanding that I have. And I know it. I know it because I feel it. How do I know it? Because I feel it. Oh, it's your gut feeling. Yeah. You have to look at your gut feeling. When your heart tells you something, you should listen to it. If your heart is deluded, then the whispers of Satan will come into your chest. This is where the other hypnosis comes through, other than your eyes and the ears. The whispers in the chest, they come from the unseen Satans that are around you. They are around us. When you turn away from the remembrance of God, from the reminder of God, from connecting with God, and you turn away from that message, God appoints a Satan to you, and he is the one who is close to you, and he whispers to you with the command of God. Now, how do you know? How do you think this works? The Satan himself decides it. And by the way, there's not one Satan, by the way. So the highest Satan is that moron that fell when God created mankind. And then his minions are all Satans because they all think they're gods, yeah? Like these chiefs that you have on the earth today. Each one of them thinks he's a god unto himself and that he's here to implement the best thing for you. He doesn't think that. He's conniving against you. He makes you think that he's doing the best for you, and he looks out for the best for you, and your whatever best saves you and benefits you is what he's looking at, right? These satanic forces that are running the earth today. So that Satan is not the one that is with you all the time, the one on top. There are, billions of Satans, hundreds of billions. I don't know. I can't count those. I'm not in the unseen. I don't know this stuff. I'm telling you what I know. So these Satans are next to you, and the angels are there as well, obviously. But they can't do anything now. They can only give a little push here and there if God wishes, depending on his structure that he's put in place. But the Satan takes control of your thought process. He whispers, he pushes, he makes you desire, he makes you see this as what you know it to be while it's totally against what it is. And you say, oh, I know because I see. You know because you see? Is that all you know? That's where you lose. That's where you lose. When you believe what you see, that's it. I will believe what I see. Yeah, when you see God, you'll believe for sure. And you haven't believed before that, you're in the fire. That's the promise of God. I know that. I ain't going to be in that boat. I'm going to be put aside for a lot of things I've done evil in my life. I know that. I'm going to be held to account for all those things. I ask forgiveness of God. God is the one who forgives. I don't ask forgiveness of you people. You don't need to ask forgiveness of me for anything. You have to ask forgiveness of God. The God, the Creator. Call him by any name you want. He is the Creator. There's only one. There's only one on top. There are not two on top. There's not a consensus going on up there, okay? It's a dictatorship. He's in absolute control of absolutely everything. And the forces that I've explained to you. He's in control of the Satans. They can't do anything without his leave to do that. And when you understand that, then you have to ask, why would God do it? Read the book. You'll know. You turn away from God. You turn away from his book, his messengers, the hereafter, you love the life of this world and you're oblivious about the unseen and the hereafter, yeah, he's going to send the Satan to you. He's going to make you think that you're God yourself, and he'll make you follow your thoughts. So, I just wanted to come with that. These people who say that belief is the enemy of knowing. I mean, there's a guy called Crow777. He has it on his bloody website. Belief is the enemy of knowing. What the hell do you know, my friend? You spew garbage, I tell this guy. He spews garbage about God. He talks about the divine spirit, has no understanding of it. I say to you, your knowing is the biggest enemy of belief, which is the actual truth. So, when you think you know something, then you think you're God. I know something because I know it from the book of God, and you belie it, all of you, most of you, not all of you, I won't say that. There's people who actually believe these books truly, but vast majority, belie these books. They belittle these books, thus they belittle God, and God will belittle them in ways they have no understanding. They think God is love, God is only love. Yeah, really, he'll show you how much love he has for you when you die and you're rejecting all that I've told you. We'll see that day, yeah? And I'll wait for that day, of course. I'm waiting for that day, and I'm not in any delusion of that I'm going to be let free or I'm free to do whatever I want. No, I bind myself with this book. I am bound by the limits written in this book. I can't do anything outside those limits. And if you bind yourself with that book, nothing evil will ever happen to you. Yeah, you're going to die. They might kill you. They might torture you. They might make you do things you don't want to do and know to be wrong because they have the power on the earth, just like Pharaoh did. It was no different. Yeah, but he could never touch Moses or Aaron. If you look back in the story of Moses and Aaron, he could never touch them because God protected them. And I take that protection of God over me, that I ask his protection over any evil they bring to me or perpetrate over me. And he will protect me. And if he doesn't, then my end has come. I have to die. Just like all of you, I will have to die one day as well. Today, tomorrow, whenever it is, I wait. Just like you wait, but you don't think you're going to die. I know I'm going to die. Do you believe you're going to die, or do you know you're going to die? I do both. I believe and I know I will die. And I know for sure all of you will die as well. Anyway, that's about it for today. I'll see you guys next time, if wishes the Lord. Peace.